Hey, Warrior Saints. Glad to have you beautiful people in with us as we celebrate this glorious Friday. I'm with you this morning because obviously Father Chris's Tesla is still not fixed. Your prayers weren't hard enough. Pray harder. I'm just kidding. That's not how prayer works. Duh. If you want to know more about prayer, visit us at warriorsaints.org, the 6-part battle plan. There's a whole module that talks about prayer and getting yourself right with God. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today is continuing along this line of preparation. These ideas of how to prepare ourselves so that when it goes down, we are ready. When stuff happens and comes at us, we know what's coming. We heard in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 4 through 6. You are not in darkness, brethren, for that day to surprise you like a thief. For you are all sons of light and sons of the day. We are not of the night or of darkness. So then let us not sleep as others do, but let us keep awake and be sober. Sober. The whole thing is talking about, being ready when things come at us like a thief in the night, when you're caught by surprise, when you don't know what's happening. St. Paul says, don't worry about it. We are not people of darkness. We are people who live in the light. And when he ends it with this, so let us not sleep on it, let us be sober, it immediately drew my attention. It immediately drew my attention back to Matthew chapter 25. When we hear three different parables that we often take as individual things. But when you put them all together, it tells us a little bit about how to do that. First, we hear in verses 1 through 13, the parable of the 10 virgins. And we know this story. There are 10 virgins. 5 are wise and 5 are foolish. Why are the 5 foolish? Because they weren't prepared. And when things took longer than they were anticipated to take, they didn't have enough supplies to do what they needed to do their one job. It's literally like the 5 that are wise say to the 5 that are foolish, you had one job, being ready, and you weren't. And then Christ ends it with, watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour. The idea is that we don't know when things are going to come, so we always need to be prepared so that when they come, we're ready. It then transitions in verses 14 through 31 into this idea of the talents. What are we preparing? We're preparing ourselves. And we're preparing ourselves with these God-given talents that we have, with these gifts from God that we are then supposed to get out there and use. And then how do we use them? We hear it in the end, in verses 31 and following, with the parable of judgment, where Christ is telling us exactly what we are supposed to do. He is telling us exactly how we are supposed to live. It is one of the most clearest passages in Scripture, in the sense that it is saying, this is how you do the business. I always like to joke. It's like we have an open book exam. We know where the answers are. We know where to find them, and we have them right there for us. But sometimes we get muddled with that, and we try to confuse ourselves into thinking through our own justifications about different ways to do things. And we get into trouble with that. If you really want to prepare yourself so that you're ready when it all goes down, and you can do what you are supposed to do so that you can have all of those answers to that exam with that open book, this is the open book I refer to. Join us. Understanding the Bible, warriorsaints.org. We will unlock Scripture for you in the sections that are not as clear-cut as Matthew 25, 31 to the end. We'll give you a little bit more of what's going on. And then we'll give you a battle plan with steps to implement in your life so that you are preparing yourself, so that you are always prepared using the God-given talents that you have. Taking those gifts that God has given you and multiplying them, not just burying them in the dirt and leaving them and being surprised that nothing changes, which is kind of like what we're doing when we just keep going about things the same way and expecting different results. You want new results? Visit us, warriorsaints.org. Get both things. Subscribe to it all. Do it for yourself so that we can go on this journey together, so that we can get into motion, so that we can get moving towards God, following the path that He has laid out for us, which is the way of the warrior saint. We will be back on Sunday or the Orthros and the Divine Liturgy at 9 and 10 a.m. respectively. And until we see you then, we want you to keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.